All right, so this was a comment that was posted. I tried to reply with a video, but it wouldn't let me, so I screenshot it. So pretty much, I'm talking about how people were upset that Richardson was torn down at Winthrop University. For those who don't know, I graduated from Winthrop University. That's where I got my undergrad. And Richardson and Wofford was old when I was there 20 years ago. And she said, why couldn't they fix it up? It couldn't afford to. So the biggest question is what does it really take to maintain residential dorms or residential halls on these college campuses? Because those of you who don't have people who are in college or siblings or cousins, you probably don't know a lot of these bigger schools like a USC or a Clemson or even a Georgia Tech. And I say those schools because those are schools my son toured and he now goes to USC, is that they'll tell you by the end of your sophomore year, your freshman year, or even your junior year, really by the end of your sophomore year, expect to find housing outside of campus. So I saw that with Clemson, and I see that with USC, where literally you have apartments that are geared towards college students. Like nobody but USC students live here. There is a market for that. And a lot of people say, well, you charge all these people tuition. Tuition is tuition. That does not cover room and board. That does not cover eating. People forget that. But it used to be, if you lived on a smaller campus, you didn't have to worry about that. You could stay in a dorm all 4 years. I know I stayed in a dorm all 4 years. I had classmates who lived off campus. That's because they chose to, especially when it came to the males, because it was either Richardson or Thompson. And once they did the math, they realized I can just live off campus. Another issue I always had is why Winthrop, last time I checked, and I'll check it again and make sure I'm not wrong, Winthrop is the most expensive public school. Unlike when you go to states like North Carolina, where pretty much the tuition among all the different public schools in that area, in that state, is pretty much comparable. They're pretty much the same. Going back to residential halls. So my thing is, again, the dorms were old when I was there. So it makes me wonder, what is that money really going towards, and are they really using it effectively? Number two, you do hear places, and I'm not knocking them, but this is something I've heard from people I know that go to the school. South Carolina State has had housing issues because some of their residential halls are very old. So that's why it's very important. My rising juniors, even my seniors who have not decided where they want to go to college, really research these dorms. Really go on campus. A lot of these campuses you can pop up and walk around and ask people, where do you stay? What do you think about the living conditions? Or ask people, do you know someone who goes to school? What is the living conditions like? That's one to make it through all 4 years. But did I have to call maintenance constantly about mold in my bathroom? I did. And that's just real talk. Really do the math. Depending on what school you go to, it comes off more cost effective for you to stay off campus. But again, you have to do your math. It depends on where you stay, and you make sure you have roommates.